The cable termination demonstrated in this video uses the ServiceDrive VFD cable system, which consists of a copper tape-shielded cable, self-terminating connectors, and termination kits. Tools required for the termination are an armor cutting saw, a utility knife, channel lock pliers, measuring tape, nuts, bolts, washers, for demo purposes only, flat metal plates, sandpaper, and alcohol wipes. For your own protection, you will also need gloves. The installation technique is very similar for both armored and tray cable. For this video, we will be demonstrating with armored cable. VFD cable should be terminated at both ends, at the VFD cabinet and the motor. This enables the shield to effectively function as a return path for stray currents. Start by removing the outer jacket. The length of the shield to be exposed for proper grounding is determined by the size of the cable. Please refer to the table provided in our installation guide and use measuring tape to mark the length on the armor. Use the armor cutting saw to cut a notch in the armor, making sure that the copper tape shield is intact. Skip this step if installing tray cable. Use pliers to remove the armor. Apply a layer of electrical tape to the end of the copper tape shield to prevent unwrapping. This electrical tape should be removed when termination is complete. With the shield exposed and taped, the cable is ready for the connector. The ServiceDrive self-terminating connector is made of 3 components: a gland nut and 2 body assemblies. It is not necessary to disassemble the connector in real field installations, but it can be done if needed. For this demonstration, each piece of the connector will be slipped onto the cable one at a time. First, slide the gland nut onto the cable, followed by the body assembly with the set screws. Ensure that enough shielded core is pushed through the connector for termination. Tighten the gland nut using the torque values provided in the installation guide table. Tighten the second body assembly to the first using the torque values provided in the installation guide. Tightening to this value confirms that the connector collet has made a 360-degree connection to the cable shield. To simulate termination inside of the cabinet, push the cable into the enclosure opening until the body assembly and enclosure meet. Install the remaining body assembly component in the metal enclosure. Tighten it to the specified torque value provided in the installation guide. If the metal enclosure opening is unthreaded, a standard lock nut is required to properly secure the connector to the enclosure. If a lock nut is used, hand tighten and then further tighten 1/4 turn. Further secure the connector by tightening the 2 set screws. 2 set screws have been provided for ease of installation in the field. If the situation arises where the second set screw is unreachable, the assembly will work with only 1 screw tightened. With the cable secured to the enclosure, the next step is to install the termination kit. Use an alcohol wipe to remove residue from the shield. Flare one end of both copper braids. Then place those ends on opposite sides of the cable shield parallel to one another to provide maximum coverage. Apply 2 layers of copper tape over the braid, securing the braids to the shield. Wrap the stainless steel spring clamp over the tape. For additional support, apply the remaining copper tape over this configuration. It is now okay to remove the electrical tape from the end of the cable. The braid must be terminated to the enclosure surface to complete the termination. If the panel is painted, you will need to prepare the backplane surface by sanding it to bare metal. This will provide the best connection between the braid and the back panel, providing a return path for the common mode current. Flare the opposite end of the braids as much as possible. Remove kinks or twists in the braid and attach both braids side by side on the backplane by the use of a pre-drilled plate or bolt and washer drilled straight through the braids. Similar installation is done at the motor end of the assembly. Once completed, the braid is terminated in the junction box. That concludes our demonstration of a typical installation of the ServiceDrive VFD cable system, and remember to contact your service wire representative if your installation requirements are not applicable to this video.